Texas, which is usually a pretty deep red state, has a Senate seat up for possible grabs. It's actually within reality for Democrats to win it, that being Ted Cruz's, as Americans across the country are getting tired of Trump's unique brand of politics that Cruz embodies. And he just debated his Democratic opponent, Colin Allred, and got absolutely torn to shreds. So I thought we could look over a couple clips of this to shed some light on yet another important down ballot race.
I want to be very clear to the people of Texas. I support the protections and the restrictions under Roe. But Senator Cruz just called himself pro-life. You're not. You're not pro-life. It's not pro-life to deny women care so long that they can't have children anymore. It's not pro-life to force a victim of rape to carry their rapist's baby. It's not pro-life that our maternal mortality rate has skyrocketed up by 56%. That's not pro-life, Senator. So to every Texas woman at home, and to every Texas family watching this, understand that when Ted Cruz says he's pro-life, he doesn't mean yours.
In the debate right there. I mean, he just buried him with one line, and it's what I've been saying. We can't let these clowns take the semantic high ground of pro-life anymore when all their actions are against that. They simply just want to control women. Pro-life isn't letting women die from otherwise treatable complications, getting sepsis or bleeding out in parking lots. Pro-life isn't defending guns after a mass shooting or a school shooting. Pro-life isn't rejecting kids' free meals in schools. Pro-life isn't letting the private market price poor people out of healthcare services or medicines they need. Pro-life isn't destroying the environment so our kids don't have a planet to live on. Their position, again, is just anti-women. Again, why many who want to restrict abortions also oppose things like the 19th Amendment. They just want to tell women what they can and can't do with their body, force them as close as they can to being back to pre-women's rights movements, as subservient housewives, as close to that as they can get, and they try to justify it all by protecting life when they could care less about it in any other circumstance.
If you don't like how things are going in Washington right now, well, you know what? He is singularly responsible for it. He has introduced this new kind of angertainment where you just get people upset and then you podcast about it and you write a book about it and you make some money on it. But you're not actually there when people need you, like when the lights went out, when 30 million Texans were relying on a senator to spring into action. He went to Cancun. That's who he is. If you give me the chance to be your United States Senator, I'll never abandon you. And I'm asking for your vote and for your support in this election.
Angertainment is honestly such a good word for what MAGA has done to American politics, where they use anger and hatred to divide America on political lines and financially benefit off of it. And then, funnel that into their campaigns. I mean, Trump and Cruz both through these outside projects just to skirt funding laws to skirt funding and funnel it into their campaigns, or Trump, for his legal fees for that matter. But they also do it to then campaign on that division while they blame media and Democrats for it when the proof is in the pudding as to who is the real cause of it. Trump and MAGA Republicans like Cruz, like MJT, like Lauren Boebert, they stoke these fires for clips so they have something to run on because a policy agenda isn't something they have. Legislative success isn't something they have. So instead it's, well, we're the guys who own the libs. They divide and conquer. Culture wars is what they focus on, and just stoking this kind of hatred.
IVF didn't need protecting until he got his way of going after it. No one was thinking that we needed to protect IVF until he was singularly responsible for pursuing, by putting in place judges at the district court level, the circuit court level, and the Supreme Court level, folks who would put at risk this miracle technology. And you know what? It's not just that. When he ran for president in 2016, he supported the personhood amendment. You know what that means? That would make something like IVF illegal, but also ban certain forms of birth control. You did. Yep. You did. When you ran for president in 2016. You can look it up, folks. You don't have to believe me. Again, you've been seeing him lie to you for 12 years. Let's have a senator who doesn't.
This is something that women and families did not have to worry about prior to MAGA extremists. Congressmen like Ted Cruz came around and put IVF directly in jeopardy. The exact reasons why they now have to have these conversations is because of Republicans, yet they're saying they're the ones who are going to protect it, and yet they want to lie about it every step of the way, like it wasn't their fault, like they do about everything else. The entire Republican platform now is to frame issues in disingenuous ways so you can blame the Democrats for them. That way you don't have to answer about your own lack or outright just bad policies. Inflation, the Democrats did it, even though it started happening under Trump and was a global issue. Immigration, blame the Democrats for it, even though it spiked in 2019 and again in 2020 under Trump, where he handed it to Biden while massively shooting up, and Republicans had the House and Senate and presidency for 2 years and passed nothing on it. Crime? blame the Democrats for it, even though it spiked under Trump and has been falling ever since under Biden. Again, it's literally just point the finger so you don't have to fess up to your own shortcomings, and most Americans are growing sick of that.